Yeah, I've been watching the weather all week. Hasn't been looking good. Let's see if that works now. No, here we go. See, that's the problem with the cuckoo clock right now. That's why I got to go bring it in, because it starts going and doesn't stop. Because that's already cuckooed about 40 times. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. They all go off at once. See, the cuckoo clock's still going off. That's the problem. I got to bring that into the shop this week. I've had this problem periodically, and it's been really bad this morning, because this morning at 10 o'clock it cuckooed like 500 times before it stopped, and now it's not stopping here either. Hang on, I got to take the weight off. I thought when I got the old antique clock back that I turned the cuckoo clock on, and it seemed like it was working fine. But every once in a while, once or twice a week, I'd notice it wouldn't cuckoo the right number of times. And then starting this morning, every hour it just goes off, and it'll run for like 5 minutes. So I don't know. That's got to go in. Got to bring that into the clock shop, get them to do that. Yeah, in this case, it's stuck in the cuckoo clock, not flew over it. Good morning, Kathy. Long time. Good morning, Bob. Yeah, I am still planning on doing the live stream tomorrow. You may just not be able to see much, but they're saying like partly cloudy, so that might mean that the sun might peek through a little bit. So we're going to try and do the live stream tomorrow. At very least, you can watch it get dark with me under the clouds, because even if you can't see the moon pass in front of the sun, it's going to get dark. So we'll see what happens. There's a possibility of rain tomorrow too, but I recently picked up an Easy Up, so I may actually set that up. Let me get the picture, because I found a picture that gave me the time exactly. I found this online here. Basically, somebody did like a video where they simulated what the eclipse will look like in each of the states, and then gave you the exact time of when it starts and when it ends. And according to this, the eclipse will start about 12:20 Texas time. It will hit totality at about 1:38. Will end totality about 2 minutes later. Or no, it'll hit maximum totality about 2 minutes later, and about 2 minutes after that, the totality will end, and then the eclipse will be over about 3 o'clock. So I'll probably go on about noon. It'll probably be a three-hour or so live stream, because I want to cover the whole thing. Who knows? We may see something, we may not. We'll at least talk about it. We'll see it get dark together. That may be all of this consists of. Yeah, so that's about Like I said, it starts about 12:20 and ends about 3 o'clock. So I'll probably go like 12 to 3 or something like that. Yeah, yeah, that cuckoo clock went crazy. It did the same thing at 10 o'clock. So I don't know. I've been thinking I need to bring that thing into the shop and let the guy who fixed the antique clock take a look at that. I think that's just an adjustment thing. There's something that isn't working exactly right. So hopefully he can get in there and figure out what the problem is. He did such a good job on the other clock. I'm 100% satisfied with that. So I definitely want to give him a shot at this. And his prices are really good too. I was concerned when I walked in there. The guy's just a kid. He couldn't be any more than his 30s, and but in the 5 or 10 minutes I was there talking to him the first time, it's like, yeah, this guy's the guy to do it. He's the one that can fix it. And he estimated 6 weeks. He had it back to me in 4. So I expect he'll do a good job with the cuckoo clock also. Yeah, I was disappointed that I've been waiting for this eclipse for 4 years. I bought that telescope about 4 years ago when I first heard about this thing, and I said okay, and I said, oh, I want to live stream it if I'm still doing vlogging, and then what happens? It gets you know uh, called out by weather or something like that. So I don't know. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I wasn't able to find any of the glasses. Everyone said the HEB had them. I went to 3 HEBs. I couldn't find them. I went to Target. I went to Walmart. I went to a whole bunch of different places thinking that they might have them. And I don't know. Maybe they just sold out or something. Oh well. Barnes and Noble. I never thought about that. Yeah, I thought about ordering them, but by the time I realized I was having a hard time finding them, it was too late to do anything. Yeah, not going to Lowe's. Sorry, I'll go without before I'll go to Lowe's. No, you're not going to see it in London, Kathy. Yeah, you'll get the next one. Yeah, I don't know where the nearest public library is. I look forward to it, Kathy. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to definitely be on, even if it's rating. Like I said, I have an easy up, so I'll set up the easy up if I have to. We'll do the whole thing under that. Well, I have my solar telescope, so we'll have something we can look at if the clouds cooperate. Yeah, but what's the likelihood I could order a set on Sunday and have them here on Monday at noon? Oh yeah, I'll talk about anything we want to talk about. It'll be just like any other live stream. It's just you probably won't see me as much. It'll be like that one that I did, that test live stream I did last week where I was on for 10 minutes. Also, but we're going to do something we've ever never done before on this one too, because I'm actually going to shoot a vlog while we're doing the live stream. So you're going to actually get to, at least hear me shooting the vlog because I want to capture it for the camera and turn it into a vlog too. So that'll be an interesting little addition to the whole thing here. Never shot a live stream of me doing a vlog before. I've cooked on a live stream. I should do that more, shouldn't I? I might try the Barnes and Noble thing. No, I didn't think about that. Oh, Bite's doing his thing. He's just kind of over there laying on the floor right now. That's his whole lot in life, figuring out where he's going to lay down next. Such a hard life. Such a poor abused animal here. Oh, you're going to get a 40% in 2025. That's not far away. That's less than a year. What makes this one exciting? I mean, I've seen 3 or 4 partial eclipses in my life. What makes this one exciting is this one's going to be total, and it isn't going to be like that wimpy annular one that happened late last year. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a full eclipse, and I'm maybe like 20 miles off the center mark. So I hope the weather cooperates. I'm looking outside right now. It's a little bit of cloudy out there, but the sun is actually hitting the ground. It'd be nice if that continued at least until about 3 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know. That's not what they're saying, though. Hey, Darth, how you doing, buddy? 7% in Tallahassee. I would have figured it would have been a little bit more than that. They're talking partly cloudy and then maybe rain tomorrow night. So I don't know. I hope it works out. Oh, 70%. Okay. Yeah, 7% sounded like an awful small amount. I mean, you consider the fact that the moon is about the size of North America. Just about everybody in the country should see a bunch of it. Glad to hear it, Darth. I am. I hope we get a good show. I really do. Like I said, I put a lot of time and money into that thing. I bought that telescope a couple years ago when I first heard about the eclipse, and that's out and that's almost ready to go. All I got to do is set it up. I did that test last week to verify because at the time when I first said I want to live stream, and I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this stuff, but I've had like 4 years to think about it, and and we finally tried it last week, and it worked. So I ran the modem outside into the backyard, so I have a good solid connection. Hey, Rhonda. All right, I can go take a break now. Rhonda's here. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Yeah, that New Jersey earthquake was crazy. Doesn't happen a whole bunch of times. I heard somebody blame that on global warming. I have. I've been working for 13 minutes, Rhonda. I'm ready for a break. Well, my backyard should be the perfect place for watching it if the weather cooperates. Yeah, well, what was it? They were calling it what a was it 4.3 or 4.9? Let's go look at that. Hang on a second. Let me pull up the page here. Or am I using the finger pad here when I have a mouse? How stupid is that? All right. Let's see. Always got to refresh my memory how to do this. Okay. All right. So yeah, here's the map of well, this is Pennsylvania. You can see New Jersey here, and you can see right here. This is where the earthquake was, and you can see there's been a whole bunch of aftershocks, including one in the last hour, 2.2. But the original quake down here was a 4.8. So that's a pretty massive quake. And it was that one right there that turned blue. So yeah, that's a pretty good one. But a 4.8 earthquake, I mean, that's a decent sized quake, but you're not going to feel it at that far away, Rhonda, because you're like on the other side of Lake Ontario, right? So in that case, what was it? It was about 300-400 miles away from me. So yeah, you wouldn't have felt that. Stop sharing. Okay, fine. Missed a whole bunch here. People were talking. It could be fracking, but I don't know. Do they do a lot of fracking in Jersey? I would have figured that would have been one of those places that it wouldn't there wouldn't be much of a problem with that. Well, they do a lot of fracking in West Texas, which is why it's they do have earthquakes there. Yeah, exactly. At 4.8, okay, that's a decent shake, but for somebody who went through Northridge, for somebody who went through Whittier Narrows, for somebody who went through Sylmar, that's a moderate shaker. I couldn't couldn't find my glasses, so no, I think asbestos is mainly an issue if it's inside your house. Um, if it's outside, then the breeze will probably carry it away. I'm not an expert at that, but the problem they run into is sometimes people have like popcorn ceilings. I'm lucky I don't have any of that in my house. It's just drywall with the same kind of texture on it as the walls have. But they had the popcorn ceiling on the roof of the ceiling of the house I grew up in, and I think that probably had asbestos in it. And it's more of a problem when they tear it down inside because then you have to positive pressure the house, go in there in environmental suits to get it all out of there, and then they have to test everything to make sure it's safe before you re-enter. Outside, it should all just blow away. People. Susan out here looking for glasses here, calling into Home Depot. Ace Hardware. Didn't think about that. Tractor Supply, maybe. Yeah, yeah, the 7.4 in Taiwan. That was. Let's go look at that one because you're right. That was a big one. Yeah, that's like the biggest one I see on the map right now. Yeah, that's wild. Hold on, holy cow. Let's go look at that one. Okay, yeah. So this is the Taiwan quake. Look at all the aftershocks on that one. Yeah, that was a big, big, big quake. 72 aftershocks right there. But it makes sense too. You see the to the right of it. I've had people say you can't really see the mouse very well, but to the right of it, there's a red line, kind of going straight, and then it kind of curves up. That's a subduction fault. What that means is that's an earthquake fault where one of the plates is going underneath the other one, and that's what causes the really big earthquakes. Is those subduction faults. But look at all those aftershocks. And there's the big one. They've revised. It looks like they've revised it down to a 7 point. No, that's what it was, a 7.4. But then there was another one. Just a couple of minutes later, that was a 6.4. So yeah, that's a real earthquake there. Look at that big blue one there. That's the main event. That's insane. Can't go that far in, I guess. Yeah, wouldn't want to have been there. I'm glad I don't have to live through things like that anymore. If we do have an earthquake here, it's going to be a little one. Ah, let's see what I missed here. That's true too. They might be, but at the Brazos night, I've been hearing them because they've had bands there. It's been a whole weekend thing. It started on Friday, and then they're going to be doing it on today, yesterday, tomorrow. But you're right, they might have them there. That does explain a lot, Rhonda. Asbestos and lead paint. The Rampo fault line. I guess I haven't heard of that one. It's a relationship between earthquakes and eclipses. It's possible. I mean, the we do know that as the Earth rotates, or as the Moon rotates around the Earth, it does pull on the Earth, and that's what causes our tides. And when you're having an eclipse, that means the Moon and the Sun are on the same side of the Earth, which could create, on a planetary level, something that could destabilize things. It's possible, but you also got to remember that those types of conjunctions happen, every 28 days, and we don't have like a 28-day cycle of earthquakes. So if there was, somebody would have figured that out by now. So I would say this is just a coincidence. Always loved the vodka. So Logan is proving that chili is musical, huh? All right. What was the worst one? Well, the one that affected me, the truth is, Silmar in '73, I slept through. So I wasn't even, that was technically the biggest one I've ever been through. But I think the one, I mean, none of them really affected me that much, but I was aware of both Whittier Narrows and um, Silmar, or not, well, Whittier Narrows and Northridge. Whittier Narrows happened early, well, it happened about 9 or 10 in the morning. I was at work one day in the clean room at one of the CD factories I worked at, and the earthquake started going, and I was in there with my manager, and I kind of saw this look of panic on his eyes, and he took off running. I said, "Okay, I'm following him out." And we went through a little sub room that had a big giant rack mount control rack that controlled the mastering machines there. It's 19 inches wide, probably 25 inches deep, 6 feet tall, probably weighed 900 pounds. As I ran through that thing, it was going boom, 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 jumping off the ground. I said, "Okay, yeah, Ray's on the right track. I'm out of here." So that one probably affected me the most. Northridge happened like really, really early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, and so that one woke me up. But and then I was off that day because it must have been a Monday, and I was off that day because I remember watching TV, and I learned something really interesting about earthquakes because as I was watching TV, aftershocks would be happening, and because the TV station was closer to the epicenter than I was, I'd see them start shaking, and they say, "Oh, we're having another earthquake, we're having another earthquake," and then like 15, 20 seconds later, I'd feel it where I was, and so that was really interesting because you think earthquakes are like instantaneous, but it isn't really instantaneous. They travel about a mile every 2 seconds. So it takes a little while for it to get to you from where the epicenter is. That's actually how they figure out where an earthquake is by analyzing the wave at different locations. They can tell how far away it was. Where I affected by the LA riots, I watched that on TV too, but I was about 20, 25 miles away from the worst of it. So it affected me just because I watched it on TV. Want to come up and visit, Bite? I haven't seen you much today. Come say hey. Come on up. There he is. No, I haven't been to the rock shop in a couple weeks, but I think I'm going to go today. So ask again next week. I'll hopefully have something cool. Yeah, I know there's certain areas that have declared emergencies in Texas too. In fact, all day tomorrow, along the entire path of totality through the state of Texas, commercial traffic is banned from the road. So you can't have any 18 wheelers, and they're all concerned that it's going to be a traffic nightmare and all that. I don't know. I'm just going to stay home. I know I'd originally talked about maybe traveling to where the epicenter is, but I don't know. I don't know any area, um, in the area where, they're predicting good weather. So best just to stay where I am. Yeah, I heard about Temple too. You must be local here, Ghost Enemy, because that's 2 times now you've mentioned very, very local things. You mentioned the Brazos Knights. thing a little earlier, and now you mentioned, okay, you're in Waco. I figured you must be close because yeah, I heard about Temple declaring a state of emergency too. That's a trip. I'm starting to get people from Waco now. Guess it couldn't just be Eric, right? Have Ghost Enemy pop up at the Rock and Mineral shop today. Oh, this week was my long week at work, so it was a crazy week. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I'm into my long weekend. So, yep, work's going great. Work's going great. I mean, there's a lot that I have to learn, but there's also a lot that I already know, and so it's nice to be in a situation where you're respected for for what you know. You know, technically there is another lead, and technically that other lead is my superior. But you know, she acknowledges what I know, and I acknowledge what she knows, and we complement each other really well. So we work well together, and together we're stronger than we would be individually. So my changing methods. I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. What's on my T-shirt? This is something Jordan brought back for me when he went to Spain. It's supposed to be a bull in a bullfight. So you see the horns and the eyes and the nose. He brought back like 3 or 4 T-shirts, and he let me have my pick, and this is the one I chose. It's a good shirt. Well, I'd like to think that I'm doing good. I do feel good about the job. I feel like I've accomplished something at the end of the day, and that's really important. And you know, I got a good income, and it's interesting. So you know that I admit I'm very lucky to have a job that provides good money, and it's something I enjoy doing and can do a good job with. I don't think Jordan ran with the Bulls. No, and Jordan's not that stupid. Yeah, I heard. I hear that. In fact, I was going to kind of follow up and see what happened with Ja. That was a real clickbaity title, though. Oh, sad news about Ja. It's like, oh man, is he dying? That's what it was. That was a clickbait title if ever there was one. Just switch from vodka to whiskey? No, no, none of that. I think Ja will do fine without the front teeth. He's going to lose his little snaggle tooth, and that's sad. But truth is, domestic dogs don't need those front teeth. They do all their chewing with the molars in the back. Oh, the snaggle tooth remain. That's good. Yeah, yeah. I actually saw the video and saw Jordan say that too. That it's not uncommon for Chihuahua mixes and Chihuahuas themselves to have teeth problems. I guess it makes sense because you know, Chihuahuas are such tiny little dogs to begin with, and so they got tiny little teeth. There's just not much to hold on in there. So I guess it doesn't really surprise me that that might be an issue. Yeah, bite and nibbles teeth seem to be fine. I don't ever see any problems with that. Yeah, domestic cats and dogs don't really need the big long pointy teeth. Those are called they're not called fangs, they're called the canines. Humans have them too. They're the kind of thick roundish teeth that are the third from the center on both the top and bottom, but they aren't as long on humans. You have a chihuahua? You have a chihuahua? That's cool. I was, yeah, say talking about old houses. Somebody posted on Facebook that there's a old, basically abandoned house in Waco uh, that it's kind of really sad that they've condemned it and they're going to tear it down. I almost wish I could do it and restore it. Looks like it was a beautiful house. It just needs some love. But sometimes, you know, these old houses, you know, nobody wants to give them the love they need. Well, and abandoned houses, that's one thing. But when it's like 150 years old and it's abandoned and it's on the verge of being torn down and it has that real old world craftsmanship. Let me go see. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the house from Street View here. Because I mean, it's a sad looking house, but let's see if I can figure out where it is here. Because I just looked at it yesterday here. I think it's here. I think it's this one. Let me see here. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Let me get in front of it here. Okay, we're gonna jump out here and go check this out here. Okay, yeah, it's this house here, and I mean you can see that's a beautiful old house. I mean look at the windows there, stained glass window. That definitely needs some love, but yeah, they're gonna tear that down. Let's see if we can go around and get in front of it here. I mean look at the house next to it, isn't it? That's a beautiful house. Yeah, just about there's a bunch of like bushes and stuff on this side, but there you can see the house a little bit there. Look at that beautiful porch. It's just a shame that house could be beautiful again. It just needs some love, but unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to happen. What was it? It was 1801 Morrow Street, I think. It's right on the corner of Morrow and what is that? 18th? Yeah, Morrow and 18th in Waco. So it's kind of in downtown area. Yeah, I know. It's such a beautiful house. Like I said, it just needs some love. But unfortunately, I think they're going to tear it down. That's what I saw. Yeah, right. Yeah, love doesn't always equal money. Yeah, I think I agree with that statement. Love equals kittens. I mean, I love having money. I won't deny that, but well, and it's I think even more of a shame here because these houses are old. There's houses here. Waco's been here, for more than 150 years, and a lot of these houses are, from when Waco was originally built. A lot of the buildings in the downtown are 100 years old plus. Yeah, I like the fact that my cats are beyond the age where they tear down blinds. And actually, there's only two pairs of blinds in the house anyway. Well, there's sorry, I always get my bearings backwards on this here. There's these blinds over here, but the cats can't get up to that. But there's two blinds kind of on these narrow windows in the front of the house, and um, the cats kind of stay away from. In fact, one of the ones here, I leave up about a foot, so there's a little window gap there, so Bite can get out there and look out because he likes to look out and watch the squirrels and the birds and stuff like that. Watch people walk back and forth. She can't get at any of the garden plants. I mean, she can get into like the one with the hydrangeas, but she seems to stay away from those. Yeah, kittens will do that, Rhonda. Yeah, that might be a factor with my cats too, Rhonda. They're too fat to get anywhere. I'm still impressed when they can jump up onto those shelves I have. Yeah, I've gotten a few injuries too, Kathy, bringing the cats to the vet. Usually it's with the claws though, not so much biting. They don't bite. They just they panic and with their hind claws, and they can really mess you up. It's really quiet there. Yes, yeah. Sometimes quiet is a bad thing, especially when you got both girls and critters that can be up to no good, especially if they're colluding and working together. Then it gets even worse, right? I don't think the cats are aware of the eclipse. I don't know. I may leave the lights on in the house when it happens, just so they don't panic too much. But I don't think it'll affect them. You're being good. Well, you need to continue being good, Logan, and make a little bit more noise so Mom knows that you are being good. If you're really quiet, then she worries. Yeah, I did go to Home Depot. They don't have them either. There's I've heard people saying that they're concerned about the power grid during the eclipse. I don't know why, unless they're wasting too much effort trying to do it off of solar. That could be an issue. Ooh, I like oranges. Yeah, I agree. They probably are plotting. I'm seeing your posts. Hmm. I think everything I've seen. I mean, I don't know of what isn't being posted, but I mean, pretty much if you hear me comment on it, you got to assume that it's at least showing up here. I don't know what happens out in internet world here. Maybe nobody's seeing seeing anything, and they just see me randomly talking about things. Who knows? But I got to admit that I got to acknowledge that there's got to be a certain amount of interaction because you guys are talking to each other. So some of those comments got to be going through. Yeah, bite nibbler are, I guess, technically rescue cats. I mean, I didn't get them at the pound; they got abandoned at my house, and I just adopted them. Here we are, 17 years later, and they're still here. We're still here. House in California, apartment in Waco, and now another house here in Waco. That might be true. They may have rescued me. First dog we got from friends that had their dog had puppies, and that was our first bag. Um, our first kitten. So I saw Rhonda wrote the word bag, and so that was my first cat. Um, but our first dog. But every dog after that we adopted, and then same kind of happened with cats too. My friend Matt, the guy who does the Island Horizon videos that I always have running in the background, when he moved to Hawaii the first time, he had a cat, a calico cat that he had for years and years and years, and they couldn't take him. take her with them. So I ended up inheriting her, and then when she passed away, I got another cat from the pound, and when he passed away, that was when kind of Bite and Nibble showed up in my life. So you call your cat Fender? That's awesome. I'm surprised that hitching a ride inside the fender, uh, it wouldn't end up being like roadkill or something like that instead of calling it fender. Because you think the second that wheel starts going, that's not going to turn out very well. Love it how so many of your pets have multiple names. Yeah, I would imagine. I'm like I said, even you'd think that it would be all nine of them would have been gone on that trip. Unless that cat ran really fast. Think that it would be all nine of them would have been gone on that trip. Unless that cat ran really fast. I have thought about getting a dog. Won't do it now though. It wouldn't be fair to a dog to have me leave it all alone at home all day for 12, 14, 15 hours a day. It just wouldn't be fair. Maybe when I retire. You like cats, but you're allergic to them. Okay. Do I like apple juice? I love apple juice. In fact, I had a big glass of apple juice before I started the live stream. Bought some. I made instant pot ribs last week from my recipe a couple years ago, and you need apple juice for the liquid, and so I had some left over. I love apple juice. That's probably a good thing, Rhonda. There has to be something that you're not allergic to. Yeah, and I know pit bulls are unusually, you know, bondy dogs. They will bond to a human, and they will love that human. But you're right; they have a very very bad rap, and it's not the dog's fault; it's the human's fault. We need to put the humans down, not the dogs. Apple juice is pretty good. I like grapefruit juice so better, Charlotte. Yeah, that's exactly what happens, Rhonda. Very protective too, Gene. Wow, thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. And I know Bite and Nibble will appreciate it too. Oh, that's a drag. He likes grapefruit juice, but he can't drink it. That's torture for me. I'm the same way with milk. If I were to suddenly become lactose intolerant, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of apple punch. Yeah, bite and nibbles are good kitties. Nibble can get a little affectionate every once in a while. Every once in a while, she'll let me get in there and give her a nice little pet. Well, I'm going to try and live stream it too. If NASA has it going though, it could be maybe that I could cut away like I sometimes do now. I can do now here, and maybe we'll stream some of NASA's footage. I've never tried almond milk. The information I have says that the eclipse begins about 12:20 tomorrow. So I'll probably start about noon. I want to be there a little ahead of time, and I'm going to try and go through the whole thing. Even if it's raining, I'm going to have the easy up. So you know, you may hear rain, over the whole thing, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, like I said, I've never tried almond milk, so I don't know what it tastes like. Tastes just like regular milk, but has a hint of almonds. Okay. No, you're working during the eclipse. Yeah, I had to work during the last one. There was that one that came that was it was only a partial eclipse. What was it, like last October or something like that? And I had to work that day. But I actually brought my solar telescope with me to work. And during my lunch break, I went out and sat on the patio and set up the telescope, and I got to see uh, most of it. I think I even put the pictures up on Facebook. Let's see, it might even be in here too. Let's see if I can find them here. That wasn't a really good one though, because it wasn't total where I was, and also it was an annular eclipse. So even then, it didn't hit totality. Let's see. We got to go back a little bit more here. There we go. There they are. So yeah, that was some of the pictures I shot of the eclipse back in October. Let's see if I get the one where it got the most here. Yeah, that was that was the deepest it went that I saw, and that was actually I think the first picture I shot. I put those up on the Facebook page at the time, and that was me with a telescope at work out on the patio. That's good that you got your glasses ready. Like I said, I hope it were. I hope it's not cloudy, even if it's just a little bit. I like orange juice, but if I'm going to drink a citrus juice, it's going to be grapefruit juice. That's just me. I really like grapefruit juice, but I like orange juice. Orange juice is good. I definitely won't turn down a glass of orange juice if somebody offers it to me, especially if it's got a couple shots of vodka in it. I guess that means it's noon. There goes the other one. Yeah, it's like that opening scene in Back to the Future when they're going through Doc Brown's house and all the clocks are going off. I do like oranges, and I do like eating grapefruit too. 6 p.m. in England, huh? Well, you got to remember it's always going to be pretty close to being right on the tick for the live streams because that's when I recalibrate things. I wind everything up right before the live stream. I make the adjustments to the pendulums. Uh, the grandfather clock is dialed in. I don't need to do anything more with that. I looked at it today, and after running for a week, it was off about 10 seconds. That's really good for an analog clock. Um, the other two, I'm still kind of working on a little bit, but even I think the antique clock, that was the one that was off the most. It was off about 5 minutes. It was running fast about 5 minutes. The cuckoo clock is running pretty well. Timing wise, I'm having the problem with the cuckoos, and like I said, I'm going to bring that one into the shop probably this week and have them look at that and see if we can figure out why it doesn't cuckoo right. If you're watching from the beginning at 11 o'clock, it started cuckooing, and it probably cuckooed about 200 times before I said, okay, this isn't going to stop. I got to take the weight off of it. So that's why you didn't hear the cuckoo clock this time, because I took the weight off of it. Yeah, Jaw had to have some teeth pulled. They were saying a little earlier that they got to keep the snaggletooth though, so that's good. So if they just pulled the incisors, a domestic dog doesn't really need incisors, so Jaw will do just fine. Back to the Future plays in New York, huh? Interesting. Jaw is spoiled. You have no idea. Jaw is the most spoiled dog I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I agree. Jaw's going to be a lot better off for this. If you're losing teeth, then he's already in pain a little bit. And when I was watching Jaw chew on that little treat there, and he was going at it with molars, he wasn't. He doesn't need the incisors. You got to remember, Dogs are predators, and so they got the teeth in the front that are kind of blade like. Those are the incisors. That's for peeling skin off of bone. Jaw doesn't need to do that. The long pointy fangs, those are called canines. That's for holding prey in place while you're killing it. Uh, don't really need that either, but you need the molars in the back to crunch up the food. So jaw will do just fine. Maybe Jordan can get him some dentures, big giant Gary Busey tic tac teeth dentures. That would actually be really funny too, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, Jaw's definitely turning gray because he's coming up on about 10 now. Yeah, I think Jaw was only like 1 or 2 when Jordan started live streaming. Yeah, Jordan's videos have definitely evolved from when he lived in Hollywood, but they evolved a couple times because it started, being a lot of old Hollywood stuff, and then he went through his international travel phase, and now he's just kind of, road tripping around America and seeing what's there. You see the Rocky Horror Picture Show or the Rocky Horror Show? Because there was a movie and there was a stage show. The stage show sort of um, preceded the movie. I remember when Jordan first got Jaw, the stage show. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Rocky Horror Show. The picture show was the movie. I was a huge Rocky Horror fan back in the early 80s. Junior and high, senior in high school, we go like every Friday. Yeah, yeah. Josh stayed with me when Jordan was in his international travel phase. Josh stayed with me a lot. Stayed with me virtually every time Jordan went somewhere. Yeah, flying DeLorean. When that sucker gets up to 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious. Sorry, we got kids here, so I want to keep it G-rated. Not even going to do PG or PG-13. I just plowed through the whole Back to the Future series just last weekend. Great movie. It's really a perfect movie too, because all three of them tie into each other, and it really looks like they kind of wrote the whole thing at the beginning, and then said, um, and just said, okay, we're going to do the three. And I like the fact that they haven't tried to do a 4, 5, 6. I keep looking at Star Wars, and they've completely killed that franchise. I have no interest in seeing anymore. Yeah, I went to something at his dearly departed museum where he did a thing for Rocky Horror. He had a bunch of stuff in there, and it was really fun to see that because I was such a huge Rocky Horror fan too. Oh, VNA's here. Didn't even see that until John said hi. Sorry, sometimes I get to the point where I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to what's going on the screen here. Such a horrible host. What, like with my trailer? Talk, talk, talk. Yeah, that's me. I'm Mr. Conversation. Yeah, I do like how the whole series wraps up at the end. I mean, the flying railroad, the flying train, it looks a little silly, but that's okay. It's a great ending. There will only ever be one Marty McFly's dad. That's going to be Crispin Glover. Favorite movie of all time? I don't know if I can point to a favorite, but one that's definitely in my top five would be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's a great movie. It's the ultimate buddy movie. Yeah, I never watched any spin-off cartoons and stuff like that. Generally, that's more about making money than making art. There's certain movies that I'm glad that they didn't really do that a whole bunch because I think that sometimes if you make a bad sequel, it ruins the original. Star Wars is a perfect example of that. The first three were really good. 4, 5, and 6 were really good. 1, 2, and 3 were, and then after that, it's like I don't even watch it anymore. What's the weather look like for you, VNA? The bluebonnets really went crazy early this year. I think it's because we had a really warm and early spring because they're already almost to the point now where they're fading. Yeah, I hope to get some good content during the live stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. They were mentioning a little earlier that NASA might be live streaming the eclipse. So what I might do is, cut away to that from time to time. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can do that on the cell phone though. That's the thing. I mean, I use my laptop for usually for live streaming. So any live stream you see me do here, I'm on the laptop. But in order to do what I need to do in the yard, it's really hard to position this thing so you can see it Yeah, so you can see the eclipse on the screen, on the solar telescope. So I was using the cell phone and live streaming from that because then I can kind of position that over the telescope and you can kind of see what's going on. But definitely, Ron, if you get some pictures of it, put it on the Facebook page. Absolutely. I noticed a change. No, I think I like the same things I liked back then. The only thing is, I don't really watch a whole bunch of movies anymore. So many of them, it's like, I can't tell you the last time I was in the theater. If I do, get a movie that I've heard is good, or if I saw it on Netflix or something like that and want to have a copy of it, then, I'll do it that way. But for the most part, the movies don't really interest me that much anymore. Yeah, see, this is a list that I have here. So we're going to get about a 4 minutes of totality, and they say starts about 12:20. Totality begins about 1:38, ends about 1:42, and then the eclipse ends about 3 p.m. So I want to try and broadcast the whole thing if I can, and who knows what we'll see. Yeah, I have a whole collection of the Back to the Future movies too. I just got it as a set. In fact, like I said, I had it out and was watching it just the other day. There it is right there. It's on Blu-ray too, so that's a good way to have that. You were blocked on Facebook, you mean? There's only two people that could do that. That's me and that's Rhonda. And I definitely didn't block you. If I didn't block you for your old YouTube handle, I can't imagine why I would block you for anything else. Unless Facebook did something, I don't know. Okay, Rhonda's going to go look into it here. Yeah, we never know what'll happen with the president. He'll probably just go eat some ice cream and then wander off somewhere. Unfortunately, that's true, Spaniel Mom. Yeah, I don't really bounce around Netflix that much. Usually, if I want to watch something, I'll just pull out a DVD or Blu-ray. Try this, Spaniel Mom. Try unsubscribing from the site and resubscribing again. Maybe that'll reset things and we can get it straightened out. Because you're definitely a regular here, and I have no problem at all with you contributing on the Facebook page. Yeah, and I mean that's all I know too. I mean, I can go dig in on my end because maybe as admin I have more pull here, but let's see here. Go in there. Settings. Let's see if that's where I want to be. I don't dig into this part of it very often, so I got to figure out where stuff where this kind of thing is. Membership. Maybe it's under there. Yeah, I don't see it for now. Here, we'll have to look into this later. Like I said, try unsubscribing and resubscribing to the group. See if that clears it out. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, he's not mentally competent to stand trial, but he can run the country. It just blows me away that like 50% of the nation falls for that. Yeah, I agree, Bob. Term limits for all offices. We did it for president. We can do it for everyone else too. That would definitely be what the founders would have wanted. They never would have gone for this idea of somebody getting in, and spending 50 years in politics. How can you represent the people if you spend your entire life in Washington? And the whole thing about the Constitution is that's what it was all based on, is limiting the power of the government. Well, and that would be the other part of it, Lindex, is you get them out of office, and then you can't have them go being a lobbyist or something like that either. I think there'd be a lot less damage to this country if our politicians knew that someday they were going to have to go back and live under the rules and regulations they've implemented. No lifetime pensions, none of that. This is supposed to be public service. I don't know if I'd go age limits, uh, but there have to be competency limits because there's some old people that are very sharp in the in Congress and the Senate, and then there's ones that aren't. I mean, just Biden and Trump are almost the same age. I think Biden's a year or two older, but there's no comparison on how competent each of them are. Let's forget left versus right. There's one man who's got like stage 5 dementia, and one man who's really, really on top of things. So I wouldn't put age limits. You know, it's got to be competency. But that would be hard to do. Okay, so Biden is 4 years older than Trump. See, but even 4 years ago, uh, 4 years ago, Biden is was noticeably diminished, and at that point when he was Trump's age. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm actually really disappointed that like Jill and the family allowed that to happen. It's the same thing with Fetterman. You know, his wife, his family should have stepped in and says, "No, you need to take care of you now." And same thing with Feinstein before she passed. She was just not even there. Gene's checking out for church. Have a good church, Gene. See you next time. Yeah, that's another example. William Shatner. There's people that are sharp way into their later years. And I mean, it isn't even a left versus right thing. Reagan suffered from dementia at the end too. Well, that's sort of what excluding the cognitive tests. Having the candidate respond to the civilians. That's technically what a town hall is. Like I said, minus the cognitive stuff. Political star search. Yeah, exactly right. That's a problem too, Susan. Hi, Tammy. Long time. Yeah, I don't know. The whole notification thing from YouTube has always been kind of flaky. So, I mean, I've heard that, as long as I've been doing this, someone said, "Oh, yeah, I had the notification on. I didn't even know you were on." Just know that most times, when it comes to live streams, I do the live streams on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Texas time. So, we've been going for hour and a half now. So calculate back whatever time that was, and usually 11 o'clock every Sunday I'm live. So even if you don't get the alert, I'm here. Occasionally we'll skip one for one reason or another, and I skipped one a couple of weeks ago when I was in Houston doing Johnson Space Center. But see, I almost go the other direction, John. I don't really like the idea of political dynasties. The Kennedys are over. It's time for them to move on. Same with the Bushes. That was I think the number one reason I wasn't in favor of Jeb Bush. It's like, no, we've had enough of the Bush clan. That is disgusting, Janine. That Biden won't give RFK Jr. security. I mean, geez, his dad was murdered. I am. I'm going to try and live stream the eclipse. Right now it doesn't look like the weather is going to cooperate, but I will be live streaming tomorrow, starting about noon Texas time, because that's about 20 minutes before when things are supposed to start. And if they do get to the point where we can see something, that'll be great. If not, we'll just watch it get dark through the clouds. Well, I don't really necessarily think that Kennedy would be any better. I mean, I've kind of looked at his positions. He's not really that different from Biden. He's not as racist and anti-Semitic as Biden is, but for me, that's not enough. I've heard that too, Tammy. I don't know what that's all about. I think it's just people trying to create news. No, no, we don't want Justin either. We got our own crazies here. You deal with your crazies. Boston would be a fun place to be. I was there once on a trip at work. There was a convention in Boston, and I spent a few days. We I was right on the square where what is it, the Boston Commons? Yeah, I was on a hotel right on the edge of the Boston Commons, and so I went through and saw a lot of really great stuff there. That would be great vlogging content if I ever made my way back there. Timothy the Hippo, huh? Is that this year's version of D's Nuts? New position is great. I've still got a lot to learn, but it's really nice to feel the appreciation of your boss and his boss and his boss and all that. That's just something I haven't felt in a long time. So I'm very happy with the job. Job is going well, and just want to keep it going. I love having 3 or 4 days off every week. It's great. I did go to the Cheers bar, Darth. Yes, I did. That was right there too. I'd never even watched the show. I still have never seen the show, but I had to go to the Cheers bar. I was also going to be, I think I've told this story before, but I was also going to be there over Halloween. So I actually went to Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night. That is the place to be on Halloween night, I'll tell you. And that was 30 years ago. I can only imagine what it is now. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Harry and Meghan either. You don't go out and smear your own family like they did. Well, I kind of mentioned last week that we may move the kitchen cabinet thing back to the front burner in the immediate future. I'm getting a little bit of money from my mom, And I know she was really disappointed when the whole kitchen thing fell apart a couple years ago. I think she liked the fact that I used some of my inheritance to do that, and it'll be a lot easier to do it because at this point I'll just be able to pay up front for it, so I won't be dealing with any of the nonsense. No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't have the power to fire people. I don't really want that power. That's a part of something that my boss does that I don't want to be. I don't want to be a part of. You know, I'm actually at a really good point now because what I do is I have the authority to tell people what to do, and if they don't do it, I can. I just go to my boss and say, hey, I told them to do this and they're not doing it, and he takes care of it. So yeah, I look at Harry and Meghan right now as kind of being the equivalent of like what was it, Kim Kardashian and all them. They're just famous for. They just want to be famous for being famous. They don't contribute anything to the world. Yeah, California is the perfect place for them too. The whole thing with Lowe's was really disappointing. But I'll go to I'll go to the Home Depot on the other side of Waco, and we'll they have a kitchen part. The reason I didn't go there the first time is because I did go there the first time, and it turns out their kitchen designer person had resigned the day before, and so they didn't have anyone. That was what ultimately pushed me into Lowe's, because even at that point, I'd already said no more with Lowe's. I'd already had enough bad experiences with them, but I kind of got pushed back into Lowe's, because Home Depot couldn't help me, and now I'm done with Lowe's forever. That's it. Lowe's blows. No, if I have issues with an employee, I go to the boss. The boss deals with it, and the boss makes a decision how he proceeds. There aren't very many people that get fired, but I'm glad that if that happens, I don't have to make the decision. I also like the fact that my boss listens to me. That was something I didn't get at Disneyland. Disneyland, they didn't ever listen to me. I never watched Frasier. It was kind of that same kind of highbrow comedy that I never was into. I never got into I never got into Frasier. I never got into Seinfeld. I never got into Cheers. Never got into Friends. I was never into any of those. It just wasn't my scene. Yeah, I think you're right, Darth. Everything really went bad. Megan was a very negative influence on Harry. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the labor market. I got a job now, so I don't see as many help wanted signs up anymore. I think a lot of people have just given up. Do I have a Menards? No, there isn't a Menards here that I'm aware of. No, yeah, Menards here is like a hardware store, I think. Logan says, "Mommy fired Daddy once, huh?" Yeah, I'm not interested. I never would have gone to Disneyland very many times if I didn't work there. The only reason I went there is because I got in for free, and so uh, that was the only advantage to going. And of course, I could invite friends in for free. So, every time basically when you saw a vlog of Jordan at Disneyland, it was after I'd gotten them in. So, well, what I'm doing is not just going to be the cabinets in the kitchen because it's going to be a complete redesign because one of the things they need to do, I think the cabinets were originally built in this house for somebody who maybe was a little shorter than I am. And so there's a big, about a 12-inch bulkhead above all the cabinets, which is just dead space. And I want to rip those bulkheads up, push the cabinets all up to the ceiling, and I'll have more space under the cabinets. It'll make the kitchen look bigger, and it'll work better for me. So we're gonna completely rip that kitchen apart. I never saw Curb Your Enthusiasm either. Another one of those things. King of Queens. Never saw that either. I think at that point I kind of gave up on TV shows. Yeah, you're right about fast food wages. It was crazy because when I was in California for my mom's funeral a few months ago, she, one night we were kind of hanging out in the lobby of the hotel. They had like a kind of a bar and kind of a meeting center down there, and I hadn't had dinner that night, and there was a Carl's Jr. We don't have Carl's Jr. here in Texas, so I said, I was in the mood for a Carl's Jr. and I went over there and I got a hamburger and fries and a Coke, and it was like $20. That was insane. I had shell shock when I saw that. I remember Soap. Yeah, I didn't watch that a lot either, but I was at least aware of that one. No, I won't do the cabinets myself. Um, I'll hire somebody to do it. I'll go to Home Depot and have them do it. And that was before they raised the minimum wage to what is it they're raising it to now? $20. I don't get why people don't see that's a bad thing. I mean, what do you think is going to happen that the company is going to raise the wages, but the prices aren't going to go up? And then what happens when the prices go up? Fewer people buy stuff. The company isn't as profitable, and they go out of business. And then those people aren't making anything. Stupid. No, I don't have TV anymore. I cut the cable a few years ago, and I watch a little bit of Netflix and a little bit of I have Paramount Plus, but not a whole lot. I'm more content just pulling out a DVD. I'm one of those people that settled into my past now in terms of movies, and for the most part music too. I'll still listen to something new if someone pushes it on me. But Jordan's always been a good influence on my musical tastes. And a lot of things I listened to, he got me into. But I think the last new CD I got as it was as a result of that concert that Jordan and I went to. But it must have been a year, almost 2 years ago now, when we went and saw the Flaming Lips and Particle Kid. And I got the Particle Kid CD. I still listen to that sometimes. That's good. And I still follow him on the Facebook. So I see what he's doing. And he's an interesting character. Micah Nilsson, Willie Nilsson's son. Yeah, right. Yeah, I heard about that too. That he exempted his own restaurant. See, that's the kind of thing that should get you kicked out of office. But California's just too far gone. Hey, I left the state. No, because the healthier places will have the same problems. Sounds like I live in a monastery. No, nothing like that. I love Texas way more than I love California. This is just kind of where the place where I think I should always have been. Foster's Free is closed. Yeah, no, you're right. That didn't help anyone. Yeah, it's kind of like what they did with cigarettes too. You made it too unaffordable. Queen is a great band. Yeah, I like Queen. I like Queen a lot. They've been talking about that bullet train for I don't know 10 or 15 years. It's a pipe dream. Yeah, I think I heard that Freddie Mercury's house was up for sale. Heck, I got 30. I probably got $30 million in the couch here somewhere. Yeah, and my time was just right, Tammy. I can't imagine a better time to have gotten out of there because it went downhill so fast after I left. Wish I could take credit for that, but no, that was their own doing. Yeah, as Jordan said, I'm the new wacko from Waco. I cleaned out the refrigerator the other day because I needed to clear some space out, and some of the stuff that sometimes inevitably goes bad, and so I actually got refrigerator space now. Maybe it is time to do another cooking vlog. I don't know. You got a good suggestion, Darth? No, they didn't recall him, which is crazy. But then again, you consider the people that vote in California. Rhonda thinks I need to make cake, huh? No, remember the live stream is tomorrow. It's on Monday. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Voter turnout was pretty low, which either means the people like the way he's doing things, or at least don't realize how bad things are because of him. Yeah, I had a cold a couple weeks ago. You still heard it a little bit last week, but right now the big issue is, I was never much of a talker. And so I talk more at work than I have to because I have to interact with people all the time. And so sometimes what sounds like a cold is actually just the fact that my throat is a little rough. I almost need a nap too. I might take one too. Live stream is hopefully going to start about noon. That because that's about 20 minutes before the eclipse begins. And so that's sort of the time right there. This is just a screen capture from a video I saw on Facebook a couple days ago, where it showed, it simulated what each state would see in the eclipse, and and then gave you the times. And so I freeze framed on the Texas window here, and got this information. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's what it's going to really look like. I think it's going to look more like that because of all the clouds over it. But you know what? We'll try. So, check in tomorrow at about noon, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to live stream even if it's cloudy, because even if it's cloudy, we'll sit there and watch it get dark. The weather says it's going to be partly cloudy, which may mean that the sun may peek through a little bit. So I don't know. We may see something. It will definitely get dark, even if it's cloudy. It'll get dark when the eclipse hits totality. Oh, that's okay, Rhonda. We're almost done anyway. We're coming up on 2 hours. So we're going to start winding down here. Well, you'll be able to watch it afterwards, Tammy, because the live stream will go back online as soon as I get it processed and all that. And I'm also going to shoot a vlog while we're doing it. So that's going to be something different that you've probably never seen on a live stream. You're going to watch me shoot a vlog live because I'm going to shoot the vlog while we're doing the live stream. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Logan. I'll see you tomorrow. Good seeing you too, Tammy. Hope you show up for the live stream. Goodbye, Kathy. I'm glad you stopped in today. It's been good. It's good to see you again. And it's actually like I'm actually looking at you right now. Yeah, it's good to see your name. You wear "That's Not How It's Done" T-shirt. Awesome. I like how the live stream just kind of naturally starts winding down after 2 hours. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run over to the rock shop today after the live stream, pick up some stuff, see what they got. They've been advertising these like obsidian discs that they're calling obsidian mirrors that you can use to view the eclipse. Might see if they have one of those. Yeah, I hope it works out, Susan. I really do. Like I said, I will be here, unless something weird happens. We will live stream it, even if even if the weather doesn't cooperate. And the weather not cooperating might include raining, but I have an easy up that I just picked up recently, and we'll we will have the easy up set up so that even if it rains, we can be outside and see what happens. So, okay, I think we're pretty much wrapped up then for today. So I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Definitely check in tomorrow about noon for the live stream. I am going to try and live stream for the full 3 hours of the eclipse, and hopefully we'll see something cool. So check in tomorrow, and until then, I'll see you then. Good night, everyone.